So I'm wearing bronzer for the first time today, and I'm 100% sure I did it wrong. Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing a book about... and today I'm going to be doing a video which is part 2 to a video I did last summer. It is my personal Bookish Donts. This book got so many views whenever I posted the first part of it, and people were really agreeing with me and they thought I should do a second part. So it's been like 6 or 7 or 8 or 10, whatever how many months it's been, and I'm back to do a part 2 with more things that I find really annoying in books. The first one is one that happens a lot. It's whenever authors use a description of something that's like not tangible. So like, he smelled like sunshine. I don't know what that means. Like, does the sunshine supposed to have a scent? Like, I know some people are like, no, it's like the smell of a summery day or whatever, but I've never in my life smelled sunshine. So I have no idea what you're trying to say to me right now. The second one is whenever authors give character names that are really complicated, but don't offer any clarification of how they're pronounced. This is mainly fantasy, but anytime I read a book that has a character name where I don't know how to pronounce it, I just get really fed up and I'm like... Good example was the main character in Matched. Her name is spelled C-A-S-S-I-A. I know in the internet somewhere there's the author explaining how to say it, but I don't feel like looking it up, and so I don't know if it's Kasia, Cassia, Cassava, so I called her Casserole in 2 of my reviews for that series, just because I didn't want to have to say the wrong thing and then get like criticized for being like, it's Kasia, not Cassia, or whatever. So it's really inconvenient when you give me a name and then don't offer how to say it. One of the best things that authors can do if they have complicated names is say, he said his name and it sounded like this. So, like, for example, the main male character in Angelfall is named Raffe, R-A-F-F-E, and I would have called him Raph had I not known that it was pronounced that way, but she said it sounded like raw feet, and so I was like, that was perfect. Thank you for the explanation, Susan E. Now I can't put the book back in where it goes, so I'm gonna lay it up here and hope you don't see that. You can see it, that's embarrassing. Look how long my hair is. I feel like I'm from Whoville. Like but you can't see that. Never mind. The next one is leaving out a really important detail of a character until like the last chapter of the book. And these are things like imagery of the character, like brown hair. And if you give me a character but then you don't tell me anything about their appearance, my mind is gonna like auto set their appearance a certain way. Then at the end, if you throw in a little plot twist like, by the way, they were blonde, my mind automatically formulates characters into having brown hair, and so forever that will just tear me apart and it'll be horrible and I will just give up. What am I doing? One thing that's really freaking annoying is dramatic irony in like paranormal and fantasy books where, like in the synopsis it tells you a guy meets a girl but something's not right about him. He's a vampire. And then for the whole first half of the book you have the character being like, he's not normal. Oh my god, what is he? I cannot believe what he is. Do you know what he is? And it's just like, you told us in the synopsis! We have figured it out already! It just irks me so badly because we could have saved like 100 pages of sexual tension of her trying to figure out what the other person is when we already know it. Also happening in paranormal books, whenever the main character finds out of the other character's supernatural ability and they're just like, oh, okay. No! They can freaking like kill things with their mind and you're just like, oh yeah, that's big. I would be crying and like calling the police. What is wrong with you? It always makes me so happy when a character freaks out whenever they find out one of their friends has a supernatural ability, because I'm like, thank you! Finally, an appropriate response. The next thing is whenever authors or fans use the excuse, he had a really bad childhood, or he was abused as a child to make up for a really freaking crappy personality. No. I will take you down on this, and I'm gonna get thumbs down for the comment I'm about to make right now. I did not like Will Herondale. If you haven't read The Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, that's the book that Will Herondale is from, and the whole thing about him is he's so closed off to everyone. And there's this one scene where they're alone on a rooftop, I think, and then she goes to kiss him, because obviously that's what main characters do in a book. He ends up making a comment that was pretty much like calling her a prostitute. And I was so offended by this. I was like... And so when things happen during the rest of the series, and he has this whole backstory explained of why he's so shut off to the world, people were like, oh, my poor baby, it's okay, we all love you, poor thing. And I was like, no! Just because this happened does not mean you can go around making girls cry and and then the main character was like, oh, okay, then just like kept loving him. I was like, stop! What are you? I'm really bad holding grudges against characters, so if they do one thing because of their childhood being bad, I'm like... I guess I'm not allowed to make this reference because I haven't read all of the Harry Potter books yet. However, I have been spoiled, so I kind of know what goes on. But Snape. I hate Snape, and I know why he is the way he is because I've been spoiled. But still, like, even though, like, the chick that you loved or whatever, you can't just be that mean to Harry all the time! And I don't forgive you. This is more of a reader thing rather than an author thing. And I know a lot of people do this too, so no offense. People who skip in the book, or skip to the end and read that part. Why would you do that? This is just something that makes me so angry as a reader, like, do you not understand the consequences of the choice you're making? It irks me so badly because I'm like, yeah, but you would lose so many of the feels spoiling yourself. Knowing people do this voluntarily, I'm like, you're losing so much of the explanation behind things. Like, the worst thing I think I've ever gone through is I was telling one of my friends to read the Delirium trilogy, and they all have cliffhangers. So I remember she had just finished Delirium, and so I was like, oh, are you gonna read Pandemonium? And she was like, yeah, but I read the ending of it already. I skipped to the last page, and the last page, like the last line, is a huge spoiler for the cliffhanger thing. You just ruined the whole book for yourself. And I know it offers explanations, but that just, why would you do that to yourself? My next pet peeve is using first person in a story where it's like survival and trying not to die. Because obviously, if the book is written in first person and it's a trilogy, then the person's not gonna die. That's actually the reason that I didn't like The Hunger Games the first time I read it, is because I was like, you're like, I have to go to the Hunger Games, it's gonna be so hard and I might die, and no, you're not. I have a whole trilogy to prove that. It just loses the dramaticness, and is that a word, dramaticness? I don't know. The thing is, I can't imagine the Hunger Games being in third person, but it's like, it would lose its predictability because I knew the moment I started the Hunger Games, she's not gonna die. And they're like, so that's just something that I wish would be less obvious in first person books. This is another thing that fans do, and makes me so angry. This is mostly about Twilight also, but there's other examples that I could point out, but being on a team or liking a certain character because they think the actor is hot. And hopefully Team Jacob is popping up in your head right now because that's exactly who I'm pointing to. Whenever I read Twilight, I despised Jacob. Like, there was nothing he could do or say that would make me like him, and I was the whole series like... So whenever, like, half of the world's population is like, Team Jacob! Just because they're like, Taylor Lautner! It made me so mad. I was like, did you even read the books? Did you even read them? This next one is like the one I just talked about, where it's leaving out an important detail into the end, except it's a little bit different. This one is whenever characters, I put really specifically when characters get haircuts in books, and this is just more of like changing something about themselves toward the end of a book or in the middle of a series, because I spent my entire reading experience making this mental image of you and you going through all these scenarios, and then you change something about your appearance. Now I have to redo that whole process. This is mainly just in Divergent whenever Tris cuts her hair at the end of the first one, I think. So that was really annoying because the rest of the series I was like, long flowy hair, wait! There's this part in Ignite Me in the very beginning where she's messing with her hair, then Warner walks in and it's really awkward. So just to like stop the silence, she says, I should get a haircut. And I remember I like stopped reading and I was like, No! This is mainly a problem with books that suck, but whenever you make your side characters better than your main characters, and this is not purposefully, like, Kenji in Shatter Me is, like, arguably better and funnier than the 2 main characters, or the 3 main characters, or however many main characters are on that book. Because he's just awesome and everyone loves him, but for books that aren't that good, for the side characters or the best friend to have a better personality than the main character, that's just really embarrassing for the author. Also really not very fun to read, and so the next one is just one line that I see a lot that I think is just getting kind of old and annoying. It's whenever girls are putting on makeup or getting ready to see a guy or something, 9 out of 10 times it will say these words exactly. I put on a touch of mascara and a dab of lip gloss. The next time you see it, you take a picture of it and send it to me. I promise you it's out there. And the last one, which is just another human thing. Whenever people call other people mundanes or muggles or pansy cakes, this just makes me shake my head. Cause I'm like, what, are you a shadow hunter? We are all humans here. I know it's a term of endearment or you just want to be funny, but it's actually just not at all, because I'm like, I'm a human, you are human, we, she, it, human. It's not cute. It's definitely not funny to me. If you use it or you say it, that's great. I hope it does you well. Just when I see it, I'm like, and those are all the things that I don't like in books. Yay! I don't know if I'm gonna be doing a part 3 of this or not, so if you want to see that, maybe let me know. I'll start thinking of some more over the next couple of months. So until next time, hope you're having a nice day, and I will see you next time. Wait, I said that twice, didn't I? Whatever. Goodbye.